Let me ask you a question. When you were growing up, did you have video games in your house? If you're like me and many others, then you did. Growing up in the late 80s to early 90s, you had a choice between either Nintendo or the Sega Genesis. Now, Nintendo had the 8-bit NES and the Super Nintendo, while the Sega Genesis just was the Sega Genesis. I mean, they had the Mega Drive, but honestly, I never knew anybody that ever owned a Mega Drive. So, I remember getting a Sega Genesis when it was Christmas of 1990. I was 5 years old. Just never looked back from then. Sega Genesis was just, that was the greatest thing I'd ever seen at the time. My dad had an Atari 2600 that we used to play around with, but really this was our first console that was like, this is ours. Or technically, me and my brothers, so it was like, this is our console. But Christmas 1997 changed everything because we got a Nintendo 64. There it is. Brand new in the box. Merry Christmas. We got a Nintendo 64 and one game that came with it that stood out more than anything, and that was Starfox 64. And even to this day, almost 30 years later, Starfox 64 is still a game that me and my brother still frequently revisit. In case you don't know anything about Starfox, it's about anthropomorphic animals fighting a Star Wars type battle scenario. The evil guy Andros is trying to take over the galaxy. He's amassed this giant army force and is just devastating the entire system, the Lilat system, where they live at, in a galaxy far, far away. In a desperate attempt to fix everything, the leaders of the Lilat system, particularly this planet called Corneria, call upon the services of a mercenary team of 4 pilots consisting of Fox, McCloud, Peppy Hare, Slippy Toad, and a bird called Falco Lombardi. Lombardi? Whatever his name is. And they fly out throughout the galaxy and defeat the evil Andros because they're the best mercenary pilot team in the world. The universe, really. Little did I know, though, that because we grew up with the Sega Genesis, me and my brother had no idea that Star Fox has already had previous adventures. Because Super Nintendo's library, especially its exclusive titles like Mario, Metroid, Castlevania, and Star Fox, they didn't cross over. For years, I never experienced Star Fox, and it wasn't up until recently that I got my hands on something that finally allowed me to test or to try out this lost game classic. There it is on the Super Nintendo Classic Mini Edition. Yeah. What's that? Never released Star Fox 2. Gotta check that out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on a journey, a 3-part journey through the series of Star Fox, and find out what I've been missing out on all this time. First impressions, that beginning opening cutscene, kind of intimidating. Big old ship coming in, shooting stuff, and then shooting in your face. Pretty cool. Second thing, look at that title card. Pretty cool. The title screen here is something of a difficulty setting with the, the 1, 2, 3 path, path 1, path 2, path 3. That's pretty much your difficulty path. The bottom one, I believe, is the easy one. The middle is medium, and then the top is obviously your top tier tough shit. Unfortunately, though, other than the title card and some of the pictures of the characters, the graphics will be looking like this. Now, of course, I'm not the greatest pilot in the world. I mean, I pretty much got to relearn the controls almost every single time I play it. The game itself is pretty straightforward. It's kind of like House of the Dead, how it's an on rails. You're constantly moving forward. You can move left and right and kind of thing. But instead of being first person, you're behind the ship. So it's, you know, you're on rails, but you can see your character and you have, you know, pretty much some choice of maneuverability, if you will. You know, oh, I'm going to get this laser's coming. Better dive down. Oh, I'm going to hit the ground. Better come up. That kind of thing. Even though these levels are still, you know, very short, you know, maybe, hell, I don't know, a couple of minutes at best, you know, since you're running straight forward the whole time, you'll reach the end. But there's barely any health pickups. There's checkpoint markers and stuff like that. But, man, sometimes you just get shot, like me. And then sometimes you get shot too much, and frustration sets in. Oh, God damn it. But even with that, at the end of the day, it's, you know, you can still manage to get it done. But the voices, their attempted voice acting. So I think that'll do it for part 1. Stay tuned for part 2 as we continue our journey with Starfox.